Last week, me and my youngest brother went out for a walk on the riverbank. We was nearing home and he said, "I'm getting hungry now. I can tell because I'm starting to get tired of walking." Thinking that this was quite an odd thing to say, I asked him what it meant. He told me that since he'd lost weight, got more into running and fitness, and since he changed his diet, that he had to learn other signals that his body gave him telling him that he was hungry. As he didn't experience hunger the way that he used to do, due to him now eating smaller portions of lean and healthy food every 2 to 3 hours. When I got home, what my brother said had stayed with me, and it hit me that we're also learning about the internal signals that our body give us and what they actually mean. Though the internal signals that we're working with are things like emotional tension, pain, agony, stress and anxieties. But by using our guidance feelings to work with these signals, we're slowly beginning to re-educate ourselves with what these painful internal signals actually mean. Just like my brother re-educated himself on his internal signals to recognise when he was hungry. We've spoken a lot about working with our painful and bad emotions and using our guidance feelings to help us figure out what those bad feelings represent. So in this video, we're going to look at the internal signals that you may be having whilst working with this method, which we haven't spoken about yet. Internal signals that tell you that you're on the right path. The first internal signal that you may have come across is, you read a title of a video and you don't feel as though you're ready to start watching it. Making sure that you're in a place where you're ready to begin working with your emotional pain is such an important aspect to keep in mind. Knowing this, I try to keep my video titles relevant to the video and not clickbaity in an effort to try and get more views. I also write detailed descriptions underneath which describes what's discussed in each of the videos. If you don't feel like you're ready to watch a particular video yet, then clicking the save icon underneath the video will put this video in the watch later section of your video library to watch at another time, which is just like waiting an hour to swim after a big meal. If you don't feel like you're in the right place to watch a video based on the title and the description, then it's important to listen to your inner voice and wait until it feels safe to swim. When it comes to using our guidance feelings, there will be other internal signals showing you that you are on the right path, other than the light feelings that you experience. Some of these common internal signals are feeling unsure about what to do and if you're doing it correctly, until you build up your own experience. Learning how your feelings work, learning how your feelings communicate to you, and learning how to change your feelings is very similar to learning a new language. Learning any new language is difficult. Como está? O kosigav? Kinagagala kong makilalaka. The two most challenging parts of learning any new language is when you first begin learning and when you first try your new skills out in the real world with a person who speaks the native tongue of the language that you're learning. But the confidence that squashes all that uncertainty when you're learning a new language walks hand in hand with practicing and building up real world experience. This is also true with working with your guidance feelings. Immersing yourself in the light feeling. This signal that you're on the right path is a pretty simple one. As you repeat the statement of how you truly feel and when you're in the flow, you will find yourself not focusing on what it is that you're repeating to yourself, but it's as though you are just bathing in all of those light feelings that this right statements create. This is such a wonderful internal signal that you are on the right path. And being immersed in the light feeling makes it easy to notice the helping thought popping into mind at each emotional change point. Pops, gurgles, burps and pumps. A very odd internal signal that you're on the right track are some of the things that your body does while you are working on yourself. As you find more and more truths that create the light feelings in your body, you may find that your stomach responds by affecting the trapped wind that you didn't realise that you had. causing your stomach to pop and gurgle, and this could eventually make you burp or break wind as you are working on yourself. This may also affect your appetite too, as you may find after a positive session of using your guidance feelings that you are suddenly feeling very hungry. And after finishing the session, having something to eat is the best idea to get you back into the real world. Change my name and call me Beauty. Another great internal signal that you are on the right path is whenever you're working yourself before you fall asleep, you may find that the next thing you know is you are waking up from a deep, deep sleep. We all know that a lack of sleep builds up a sleep debt within us. But I've often wondered if we also build up a quality of sleep debt too. If you're getting a better quality of sleep after a session of using your guidance feelings, then that is absolutely excellent, as this is such an enjoyable internal signal. You begin to start decoding what's going on with other people. An internal signal that you're beginning to make progress with working with your guidance feelings is when you can look at other people, be it people in your life or in TV shows and movies, and you don't just see what they are going through, but you begin to think things like, if they knew how to use their guidance feelings, then this would be much simpler and much easier for them. This internal signal shows you that you are making progress. And it's nice to know that you now have different answers of how to feel better and to feel good. That, not too long ago, you didn't even know existed. The last internal signal that you are on the right track. This signal isn't an internal signal, it's more of an external signal. But a great signal that you are on the right track is when the people around you, especially the people that you live with, suddenly have a short fuse with you. They can suddenly become easily annoyed with the things that you do and can even start arguments with you. When we live with people who we care about, we don't just share our living space, meals, money or the internet, but we also share some things that not all of us are aware of, in that we share and blend with each other's feelings. I understand if what I'm about to say sounds a bit out there, new age, hippie grass smoking, wheatgrass drinking, stepping out of a crystal cave of an idea. But what I'm about to say will still be happening whether we talk about it or not. If you live with someone who you feel close to and have a strong connection with, it's as though there's a shared energy between you both that you are both building together. The people we live with, we build our energies with them. And if you're doing things to change your personal energy, this also affects the shared energy between you and your partner, which your partner picks up on too, and lets them know on a deeper level that you're not as fragile as you once were. So you can now hear some of the stuff that they don't like. This may be confusing for them, as your partner may not know why they are all of a sudden angry with you. But if you come across this experience yourself, then finding a way to communicate with your partner in a way that protects both of your confidences will be something to consider and work towards. And even though this might be a signal that you're on the right track, it still affects both of you. And keep in mind that communication doesn't have to always be a sit-down face-to-face talk, as the most important thing is that you both get to communicate what it is that you want to say, and it's not so much about the way you choose to communicate. So you could choose to sit in separate rooms and message or text each other with what it is that you want to say. And to make it even easier to communicate and talk about difficult things, try talking about Tim and Sue, as Tim and Sue are two fictional people who are going through the exact same situations that you are, and they experience the exact same feelings that you and your partner experience and are going through. And yes, talking about Tim and Sue does feel a bit silly in the beginning, but it soon fades away when you see how well this tactic works, as it enables you to talk about some really difficult things, but not take it personally. I'll end by saying that finding internal signals that you are on the right path is pretty intuitive. So if you have any experiences showing you that you are on the right path, which I haven't mentioned in this video, then please let us know in the comments. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.